Greetings, pod fans. It's been a while. I've been working and all that kind of stuff, but I've got a week off, so I'm going to do at the very least one video. I know it's not a Thursday, but I'm going to read a spooky story because I haven't been doing video stuff, and spooky stories are easy to read. So we're back with this same setup. I really do hope that this microphone sounds good. I just spent a little while testing. Today we're going to read a story called Scratch, which was published on the site copypasta.com in 2015. Let's go. I could say I was having a pretty peaceful life. I had just graduated high school and is about to enter college in a week, to which my mom is really proud of because I decided to pursue something great for my life instead of just applying for McDonald's or something. Anyway, everything was going along pretty normal until one day I overheard my mom talking to someone through the phone. "Who was that, Mom?" I asked, because she looked sorry for something, like a friend had a problem, and she was feeling sorry for her. "Oh, just our old neighbour. Remember that house we lived in many years back? He said the family that moved after us just left yesterday." My brows just furrowed, since I couldn't recall living in a house other than this one. Then my mom softly laughed and patted my back. "You probably don't remember, because you were too little." "Really? Why did we move away?" "We moved because of you, honey." She chuckled as she waved it off with her hand. "You kept bugging me about some monsters or whatever. To be honest, we wouldn't have left there if your aunt didn't offer this house for only half the price. A lot cheaper. And you kept on complaining back there anyway, so I just agreed to move." I just nodded in understanding, though I still couldn't recall what she was saying. Eventually, I just let go and continue with my business, making sure my papers are complete, packing my stuff that I'll surely need, you know, the usual things to prepare before you move away and enter a new part of your life. The next day, I guess I could say boredom and curiosity just attacked me out of nowhere, and the idea of visiting that old house crossed my mind. I asked my mom, and I was actually surprised when I found out it was just a 15-minute drive away. You guessed it right. I did go to the house, and as soon as I stood there in front of the empty driveway, the memories started flooding back like a light switch was flipped open. And I did remember the little me complaining about something almost every day during breakfast. But I just laughed it off, thinking it was probably just my wild imagination as a kid. I carefully approached the door, just in case someone was still in there, even though my mom said the family moved out, and the house is probably empty by now. I tried to open the door, not really expecting it to be open, so I was surprised when it did open. Maybe I'm just lucky. Anyway, the house still had a lot of furniture around, and I actually remember myself doing childish stuff on them, like jumping on the sofa or scribbling on the cabinets. I could only chuckle as the memories flashed by my eyes, like I was watching a movie. Eventually I found my way to my old room, and my small bed was still there on a corner. Like all these years, it has never been moved the other way. The tiny amused smile on my face faded away as I started to remember what I was fussing about while we still lived here. I kept on complaining about a monster under my bed. Every night before I sleep, Mom would check and assure me that nothing is under there. But as soon as the lights are off and Mom is gone, I start to feel those long, slow scratching right against the wood under my bed. I could even feel it vibrating through the mattress and the thick blanket I wrapped myself with in fear. Eventually, I'll fall asleep despite of the incredible fear and wake up the next morning crying. As I stood there at the doorway, this new surge of curiosity flowed right through me. I don't know, that monster under the bed was probably just the usual stuff kids tend to imagine, but I wanted to fulfill this silly curiosity, so why not? I walked closer to the bed and took deep breaths. For some reason, being near it sent an eerie sensation up my back, but I tried to shake it away. With one heave, I lifted the whole bed and propped it against the wall. I was ready to laugh at myself for doing that for nothing, but horror washed all that away as I saw long, deep scratches against the wood. And there were just so many to the point that some parts of the wood were already too thin and would break with a single poke. I couldn't believe it. Gasping, I scrambled out the room and out of the house. I was about to enter my car when an elderly woman from next door called out to me. "May I help you?" she said with narrowed eyes. Darn, she probably thought I was stealing something from the house. Wiping the sweat off my face, I awkwardly approached her. I used to live here. I was just checking out what's new." I half expected she wouldn't believe me, but then her eyes widened as she recognized me. "Oh, are you that little Superman kid?" She made awkward little gestures that looked like dancing. "The one that always danced like this in the backyard?" It was funny how the embarrassment was able to wash away the horror in a blink. "Yeah, I remember that. Yeah." "Oh my gosh, you've grown so much," she said, all teary-eyed, and hugged me tight, then started mumbling things like she and Mom were friends and they always came over. Only when she mentioned about a call did I realize she was the one Mom was talking to yesterday. "Did you decide to visit because I called yesterday?" I glanced at the house, but this time fear crept inside my heart instead of nostalgia. "Yes, sort of. You said the family just moved out of here?" "Yeah, they were such a nice family," she said sadly, as she followed my gaze. "Too bad they had to move away." "Why did they move away?" "Quite silly, actually," she chuckled, but the sorry look remained on her face. "But I guess they're just ready to do anything for their kids. The mom told me that their youngest daughter wouldn't stop whining over something for months. It stressed the parents so much, and even their older daughter. They had to endure the little one's whining. But then I guess they eventually got tired of it and decided to move away." The same eerie feeling started to crawl up my spine once again, but I pushed on my curiosity and asked another question. But boy, little did I know that I'll only regret that I ever asked that. What was the girl whining about?" The older woman paused for a bit, as if tried to remember, but quickly returned her attention to me with a smile. "You know, just some usual children stuff. Someone scratching under her bed or something." And that's it. That was... I didn't really find that super scary. Like, that last line, we've already established that the scratching was a thing, that it was real, by flipping over the bed. So that last line being like, "Oh wow, someone else had the same thing, oh what?" Yeah, I don't know. Also, you may have noticed that the grammar was fairly bad. I read it like as it was written, just to keep the authenticity of the thing. But yeah, there was a lot of sentences that just like word wrong and such. But yeah, that was fun. I like reading. So yeah, I'm gonna try and keep this up. I'm gonna try and do more of these because it's fun, and I have this microphone, so I might as well freaking use it. But that's all for today. I started posting on Instagram. I rebooted an old Instagram account, so to post cosplay stuff. It's all old stuff, but I'm hoping to do more soon. I like dress-de-upping, and as I said at the start, I have a week off, so I'm going to see what I can do and do fun things. So I hope you've been enjoying your time. I hope the cabin fever hasn't rushed in and destroyed your brain. But yeah, that's all for today. I will talk to you soon. Don't get lost, Sloan, and the rest.